Hello and welcome. My name's Hayden from Polyfable.com, and today we're going to be asking the question, what are geometry nodes within Blender? Well, geometry nodes, or geonodes for short, are a relatively recent addition to Blender's toolkit. They provide users with a visual and procedural way to manipulate and generate geometry within the software. In essence, geonodes allow you to create complex shapes, patterns, and animations using a node-based workflow, which is very similar to the shading workspace workflow that you would use to construct your shaders or materials as they're known in Blender. Now, to get started with geometry nodes, what you can do is you can head over to the geometry nodes workspace area as seen here. And this will give you access to just a preset workspace that you can then get started with using these nodes relatively simply. Now, I should note that the geometry node system is sort of an extension of the modifier system. So if you aren't familiar with the modifier system, I have a video on that, which you can click up above somewhere if you just want to kind of get started. Also, if you're someone that is learning Blender or 3D to tell your own stories and you're finding it a little bit difficult just getting the hang of things, I highly suggest heading over to polyfable.com. It's a website that I created to help people like yourself and like me, essentially, get started with learning these softwares from the perspective of storytelling. Yes, we go into the itty gritty of the softwares themselves, but it's all in service of story because that's where I come from in terms of my background. I'm a storyteller first and foremost. But I digress. Let's get back to this. So, as I was saying, the geometry node system is an extension of the modifier system within Blender. So if I was to come over here and simply press the new button, we would see that we automatically get a geometry node modifier within the modifier property area. Now, I should note as well that this is only going to apply to the object that you have selected. As you can see, I had this here selected. It's not really a cube. We'll call it planks. Why not? We had this here selected, so that's where the geometry nodes ended up. We can name our geometry node system as well. For example, I can call this random color as such. Now, the reason why that's important is because if you, for example, later on want to apply this same geometry node system to another object, you will now be able to do so. If I get a cube, let's say here, and then add modifier, and then I can come over here down to geometry nodes, I could then, instead of pressing new, load up that random color group. Okay, but let's get back to this. Now, geometry nodes are very similar to shaders, as I was saying. As you can see here, we have two nodes, an input and an output, with a line in the center of them, connecting the two of them. What this line represents is it represents the path of data. So we have our group input, which is our initial geometry, and its data is being passed along and is being output. So technically, nothing is changing. The same geometry that is being inputted is being outputted. And within here, we can intercept this data and change it slightly. For example, I said random color here, essentially. And what I want to do is I want to drive data that allows me to color each of these individual planks of wood, let's say for imagination purposes, a slightly different variation of a color. Now, you might be thinking to yourself, well, I can do that already. You know, all that I've got to do is head over to the shading tab. I've just got to head over to here, new, let's add a geometry. And then I do a random per island on base color. And then I'm just going to run that through a ramp like so. And whoa, hang on a moment, nothing's working. And that's because it only works in the Cycles render engine. So if I pop over to Cycles, GPU compute, and then switch over to the rendered viewport mode, we can see that we are getting random values per UV island. Now that's great and all. If you like using Cycles, you really don't have to worry about this all that much. But if you like using Eevee like I do, then this is not usable, at least at this point. So what we can do is we can use geometry nodes to kind of bypass it in a way. So geometry nodes, let's get a new node, random. What is it? It's you per island, I think it is. Let's search island, mesh island, and let's throw in a random value. We want to keep it as a float between 0 and 1. We're going to then use our island index and throw that into the ID. And now we need to store this value within our geometry. So the geometry nodes can also be used just to store values as well. So let's go to, I think it's attribute, and let's do store named attribute. As you can see here, the geometry data is now being intercepted by this node here. This node is going to essentially convert some of the data, and we're going to store it in a value named cull as such. Now notice when I did that, I now have a new data point over here, and as you can see, cull and 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. So let's now change all these zeros to random values. So let's input our value and throw it into our value here. Now, as you can see, we're getting random values. Now, some of them are the same, and this is because they are existing within the island index as we have dictated on this node here. So that's why that there are groups of the same value. And now that we've done this, we can come back over to our shading tab and extract that attribute from our mesh. So we can search for attribute, type geometry, cull, and let's just throw in we could either do color or factor here. It doesn't actually really matter all that much. And there we go. As you can see now, we're getting random values on our wood. And just to make this a little bit more obvious that it's supposedly wood, let's just throw this into a mix. I could just change this to all grays, make this color data, throw it in here. Let's also change, in fact, let's throw it in here into the factor. And let's do a RGB. No, not a shaded RGB. RGB. And let's get a nice brown. And let's mix it with a dark brown as such. So we're now getting different variations as such. Let's change this color here to be a little bit more like so. So we should be getting different colors now. Now, the nice thing is I can pop over here to my geometry nodes, and I have a seed value here that I want to be able to control. Now, I could just keep coming back to the geometry node system and change the seed, but what if I want separate seeds per instance of this object? Well, this is where the group input system can come into play. So what I can do is I can take my seed value here and input it into the group input node, and that's now going to act as a parameter within our geometry node system. So as you can see here under the modifier, I have access to the seed value, and that's going to be true for any object that I add this to. So if I add geometry nodes and then the random color, I have access to this seed value. And it's going to be independent per object because it's simply just a parameter. So if you come from a programming background, think it's a variable that you input into a function, essentially a parameter. So yeah, so already, as you can see, we've bypassed Eevee's limitations with geometry nodes, which is perfect and wonderful. And we can now have a lot of fun times playing with our new geometry node system. Now, there's a lot more, of course, that we can do with geometry nodes. And if you are interested, I highly encourage you to give this video a like. It lets me know that you like this sort of content. Also, if you're someone that is just getting started with a Blender, I do highly recommend heading over to polyfable.com. I've set it up to be very beginner friendly so that it will really start from the very, very beginning. It doesn't really assume that you know things, unlike a lot of other courses. We go through a curriculum of different points, which will then tie into courses later on, which basically examples using that data. Perfect. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope that this has been informative and shown you exactly what geometry nodes can be and can do for you in your workflow. This is Hayden Falzon from polyfable.com signing off.